Matthew Ridge back into this side. He will be marshalling the troops from the full-back position and shoring up those defensive lapses that have hurt Auckland in recent weeks still. That loss to the Illawarra Steelers, they came back in that second 40 minutes. They've been looking for a much better start today. And plenty of Auckland Warriors also in the crowd today, along with Gold Coast supporters. A disappointing crowd. They've been averaging around 6,500 people here at Carrara. But some 600 Maoris have converged on Carrara today from the local community to show their support for the team at the moment, led out by Matthew Ridge. Stephen Kearney also there, the skipper when Ridge is not available. And he is back in the full-back position, Matthew Ridge, and back with the C against his name. Lee Oden-Ryan also comes onto the wing. Paul Stellati, the other winger. Shane Endicott, Nigel Vagana in the centres. The halves, Jean Namu and Stacey Jones. The forward pack, Bungana, Eru, Malum, Gutenbiel, Kearney, and also Logan Swan, the lock forward. Jean Namu has copped a couple of heavy head knocks in the last two matches, just 24 years of age. 3 tries and 19 goals this season, 21 test matches for New Zealand. Also had a very short stint with Manly and also Souths. The Gold Coast Chargers, Andrew King the fullback, Hudson and Shane Russell the wings, Graham Mackay and Nickel the centres, Richie Allen and Wes Patton certainly live wire halves, McAllister, Goddard, Driscoll, Nahi, Sattler and Conley the forward pack for the Gold Coast. Jamie Goddard played in the 3rd State of Origin victorious for Queensland. 4 Origin matches to his credit. Just 25 years of age and the leading tackler in the competition. And referee Sean Hampstead gets proceedings underway here at Carrara. And Auckland looking for a much better start than the past 2 weeks, Gary Belcher.
Well, they certainly are from all reports. It was ordinary last week and they didn't really switch on until the second half. As I mentioned before, it's a real problem with the Warriors is that they just don't seem to switch on against the sides that they should be. They turn it on when they need to, and that consistency has really plagued them. And that's the reason why they are really going to struggle to make the top 10 this season, and that's why today's game is a must-win.
Danny McAllister quickly out of the line for the Gold Coast Chargers. Vangana. Joe Vangana has played in all 17 games in just the 1 try. The big prop forward for Auckland through the hands of Namu. Now Matthew Ridge with that deadly right boot of his. The Coast, they're back there and waiting for it. Off the feet there of Shane Russell. Allowed the Auckland Warriors to come at him very quickly.
Yeah, we heard that from the referee. The moment it touched his feet, he had played at it from Sean Hampstead, and therefore the Warriors were all onside and able to attack him.
Breeze, Chris Bumbalus, seems to be favouring the Auckland Warriors early in this opening half.
Yeah, you're right there, Terry. It's only a slight breeze, but it may be to Auckland's advantage at this stage. I'll be interested to see how Jamie Goddard goes, because there's been a lot of speculation about him signing with the Brisbane Broncos. I spoke to him before the game started. He is, in fact, signed to the Gold Coast for the next 2 seasons. So where that speculation is being fueled, no one knows.
Well, the speculation comes whether the Gold Coast will be in existence for the next 2 seasons. That kick from Wes Patton, who has been dropped back to the local Queensland Cup, fumbled by Matthew Ridge, taking a while to find his feet. He quickly got away from his own in-goal area.
Yeah, fortunately for Ridge there, he was facing back towards his own in-goal when he made the drop, so it went backwards. Just took his eye off the ball at the last minute there, something you don't expect to see, but I guess he hasn't played for 5 or 6 weeks, so he's just finding his feet as well.
Logan Swan, good hit up there for Auckland. They're now 20 metres away, and the opening penalty of this game just hanging on a touch. Goes against Graham Mackay.
Yeah, you've heard the ref there holding it down too long, Graham. That's his 5'8" Richie Allen over the top, but Mackay just hung on a little bit too long on the legs. Penalty goes the Warriors' way.
Season so far, 1998, just 3 wins for the Gold Coast. They're in 20th position. Auckland, 7 victories. Good offload by Vangana. Now they move the ball back to the middle of the park. Jones, the offload now. Brady Malum spins out of one, flicks it out the back. They keep the ball alive. This man is Swan, and Swan takes it 10 metres inside Gold Coast territory now.
He might be the top tackler in the competition, Goddard, but he just really couldn't make that tackle on Vangana. A big push from that huge Auckland prop. Sent him sprawling backwards.
Eru now Jones. Picks up Namu, Kearney, inside ball. Matthew Ridge into a bit of space. Great offload on that occasion for Shane Endicott. And Endicott now Auckland looking sharp and looking to move the ball back to the left-hand side. Namu, quick hands for Jones. Back on the inside for Swan. Back for Jones and Namu again. They have numbers on the right-hand side. Vanganara is a handful. Reach has put it on the toe. Has he been held back? In fact, he knocked the ball forward.
Yeah, did look on the first glance that Ridge had put it on his toe, had done a little kick ahead as he got tackled, but gee, some great ball movement there from the Warriors, wasn't it? It looks like they're keen on that inside pass this afternoon. Saw Ridge earlier on through a big hole. He gets it here. It does eventually hit his foot, but he did lose control. Certainly a knock-on. Correct ruling there from Sean Hampstead.
Oh, Vanganara is already proving a handful in this game. 120 kgs. Very quick for a prop forward. Away they come, Jason Hudson. They crept up. And a nice penalty here for the Gold Coast. And we'll just find out very quickly how stiff this breeze is favouring the Auckland Warriors. The kick from Mackay. Comes back in the breeze, but they gain a good 15 metres or so.
Almost sense the referee there letting both sides know he doesn't want too much offside play. There's been a penalty against the Gold Coast as well for holding down in the play the ball area. So if he can control those areas, I guess it's the first thing a referee wants in any game of football. We'll keep it nice and tidy.
McAllister wrapped up right on the halfway line. Scott Sattler, inside ball for the lock forward. And Scott Conley, the former Newcastle Knight. Of course, Scotty Sattler has just signed a new 3-year deal with Penrith through the hands of Patton. Long ball on this occasion for Richie Allen. Mackay looking to create some room. Reaching the 5-minute mark, no score. Nahi charges up straight in the shoulder there of Logan Swan. Across the park, the biggest side in the competition, Auckland. High ball from Wes Patton. Possesses a very big left boot. Lee Odenrine fumbles it. The Gold Coast, they come up with a try from absolutely nothing. Lee Odenrine has his head down in the background. 4 points to nil.
Well, I was about to say the kick seemed to be a good one, but just a little bit too long from Wes Patton until, of course, the fumble makes it a great kick. It is in the end goal. Had he caught this cleanly, well, it was a few metres too deep. And Odenrine must have just taken his eyes off it at the last moment. It seemed to be right in the breadbasket. Shane Russell's come through, and they don't come easier than that for him. We actually heard a call from Reg, yours, because he couldn't get to it. And Shane Russell just had to put his hands on it. It was sitting there waiting. What a gift.
And there's yours. He goes by the name of Shane Russell. His first try for the season. Of course, he's played just the 8 games for the Gold Coast this year, but Shane Russell, from memory, scored 4 tries in the opening round of the competition in 1997. And now he picks up his second. Graham Mackay. Over a century in career goals. He strikes this one into the breeze and waved away. The Gold Coast in front by 4 points to nil.
Yeah, we have a look at the ball goes up. Wes Patton puts it nice and high. There's plenty of elevation. Of course, it's into the breeze, so it holds up. He's got this under control. It just slips out at the last minute. And lo and behold, a nice, easy try for Shane Russell.
You won't get it any easier, Chris. The ball goes deep now. Where's Patton? Well, Wes, back in the top grade, already made his mark on this game.
He has. I don't think we're talking about won't get any easier, those tries for Shane Russell. I don't think really that Lee Odenrine's going to get too many easier bombs. He had plenty of time. No one near him. Just let it come out. I expect we'll see a few more bombed out that way this afternoon.
Scott Sattler, as I mentioned earlier, signed a new 3-year deal with Penrith. He'll finish out the season here with the Gold Coast, the former Rooster. Chris Nahi. Goddard. It's up for Conley, he'll play it back quickly. He'll go back for Patton. Again, they'll test out Lee Odenrine. This time, Odenrine doesn't have to play at it. He's probably pretty happy about that.
Well, that breeze is pushing into the face of the Chargers, but a little bit towards the right, across that sideline. So it did take it out. Managed the ball just went out by a few millimetres or half a metre or so, but Lee Odenrine had that one covered all the way.
Endicott plays it back. Namu takes them to the right-hand side through Sloan.
The lined out wide here, the Auckland Warriors looking at putting it through the hands.
Jones, Kearney the decoy. Vangana again with the offload. Jones again. This man is Nigel Vangana.
So if Joe Vangana does that all afternoon, that's all he needs to do. He's taking the ball up, standing in the line, pushing off defenders and popping it back. He virtually gives them that second phase that makes it so hard to defend against. It looks very simple for anyone else, but he's a huge man.
Kearney flicks one out the back for Jones. Odenrine trying to get involved. Now Namu scooting to the right. He'll take the tackle of Nahi. Also Wes Patton involved. Final tackle. High ball from Jones. Back to the centre of the park. Ken flecked back by Odenrine. The Warriors so close, but they're going to be held up. But only just.
Well, they've nearly got their own back with a try from a bomb. But on the last tackle, of course, when you're held up, you don't get the scrum feed. You just turn the ball over. It was popped out the back there by Odenrine. He did great trying to make up for that last error. And you see here, I think it's Endicott.
It was Andrew King who did the good work to get the body underneath the ball and hold it up. Sattler works it away from the line now. 4-0 the scoreline, just 10 minutes gone. That ball went forward, and of course, you just can't do that, Scotty.
Forward.
You just rush that play, the ball a touch, Gary.
You can't do it early in the tackle count either. Just have a look at him here. He's trying to get up. Of course, there are some players around him, and you almost could see the referee penalising that Auckland Warriors player for not getting clear of the play the ball area, but he's decided to rule it as an... well, if it's an incorrect play the ball, is it a penalty?
It's a penalty.
Oh, I don't know what the ruling is there.
Jones. Namu. That was up quickly. Quick hands. Namu for Jones. Dangerous halves combination for Auckland. Odenrine, the basketball, popping it over the crop.
L2, Jason Eagle, hands off.
Vangana plays it back quickly. Off he goes, Matthew Ridge. Picks up a very handy 10 metres. 20 metres out. Malum. He's come into the starting lineup. For Quinton Pongia, who's been ruled out of this game. Jones, intercept. Mackay is away. The veteran. I don't think he'll have the speed. He puts the ears back. He gets the ball on the inside. Richie Allen has speed to burn. He promotes the ball further. And Hudson gets across.
Whoa.
And Hudson gets a beauty. And the crowd, they cheer because it was a superb try.
It was a great effort, wasn't it? Firstly from Graham Mackay. They were in a lot of trouble out wide. The Warriors throwing the ball to the right in a great attacking position, but just a loose pass. You see Mackay out of the line, gets his left hand to it, juggles it twice and takes off. Stacey Jones sets off in pursuit. From about this stage, he knew he was gone, so he just started looking for the inside support. And Richie Allen's the man. He makes sure he commits Jones as much as he can. Allen's gone here, and he pops it back for Jason Hudson, who manages to get over under the post, and the crowd roared. You just have a look at those Warriors players, couldn't believe it. Had the ball stuck out wide, they were over, but it's all gone to the other end of the park. Graham Mackay, well, he didn't have the legs, but he started it off well, and Richie Allen did. He did very well to know that Jason Hudson was inside. What a good ball to him. Against the run of play, 8-0.
Tries virtually coming against the run and play for the Gold Coast. It's a very handy lead. They've had just the one victory so far at home this season. Graham Mackay, this one easier. And he converts it. Chris Bombolas, a handy lead. 10 points to 0.
Certainly is, Terry. 10 points to 0. The magic of Graham Mackay there. He took the odds to the intercept. They were under pressure here. If he misses the intercept, I'd say that Auckland score. Away he goes. He knows he hasn't got the legs. His experience comes in here. He looks around for support. Richie Allen comes up beside him, takes the ball. He too is covered there. Great chase from Auckland. And then he throws the one back inside to Hudson, who keeps alive and puts it under the posts.
I mentioned earlier in the telecast, Gary, that Auckland have been suffering some very bad starts. No doubt they come ready to play, but they've been jumped once again.
Well, it's not really that much bad play from them, is it? They've dropped a bomb and they've had an intercept against them, but I think otherwise they're playing very well. I mean, they've done enough to at least get over the try line once. It's just the Gold Coast have been Johnny on the spot twice, and they deserve their 10 points to 0 lead, but it's a little bit early to write the Warriors off.
Very much so. Goddard picks up Sattler, stepping off that left foot as a former centre would. Goddard again, 4 origins under his belt, and another handy 10-metre gain. Leading tackler in the competition so far. Back it goes now for Patton. That left boot of Wes Patton will haunt this man, Lee Oudenryn, who takes that one superbly over the shoulder. A harder take than before.
Kept his eyes on the ball. So a little bit of a confidence booster for the next time he's in his in goal or near his in goal, waiting for a bomb from Wes Patton. They made good yards that time though, the Gold Coast, didn't they? They got well over the halfway line before they had to revert to the kick. Let's see how the Warriors go now. Steve Kearney ducking under a tackle there from Chris Nahi, but they haven't gone too far in 3.
To go forward now, Auckland. They're 30 metres away from their own line. Mallum will play it back. Bunganar again has been heavily involved, the big man.
The Gold Coast charges that time, getting around the back of him and cutting the ball off, holding his arm so he couldn't come up with that flop back that he does so often.
And Breeze helping out the kick from Namu. Russell picks it up. Scored the opening try of this game. He's had 2 tries for the season. Patton promotes it for Hudson. I thought it was probably the Crushers' best in their final season. Again, a sloppy play the ball could prove costly. It doesn't for the Gold Coast. McAllister. This is Patton again. Nice hands for Allen. Good set-piece move for Nickel. Back on the inside. Kearney wraps him up. Again, the Gold Coast, 2 of the biggest centres in the competition, in Nickel and Mackay. Patton. This man is Mackay. He's not the skipper anymore. Jamie Goddard has the C next to his name. Final tackle. Patton again, the left boot. Now this bomb has gone cross-field, and Oudenryn has knocked it forward. And I thought for a moment Richie Allen was away.
Well, 4 points there to Oudenryn for having a go. He just stood back. He didn't wait to see what the result was. He took it upon himself to get it. Now, he didn't come up with it. There was a hand in there from the Coast. But Richie Allen, had he picked this up, he was over for all money. 1 chaser and plenty of room to get to the corner. And that's a let-off there that the Auckland Warriors certainly needed. And how's he feeling at the moment, Lee Oudenryn, about those bombs?
He feels like there's going to be plenty more coming his way.
You'd like someone to ask him to come and play in the front row, I think.
Great chance now for the Gold Coast. Richie Allen standing wide off that scrum. Takes on his man, can't get over the top there of Nigel Bunganar. King. Picked up a willing worker there and hit Cruikshank. Jerry Susu is on the park for Auckland. Patton, Sattler, nice ball for Nickel. Trying to get on the outside of his man. Jones made the tackle. Now they'll go back to the left. Patton. 10-0 the Gold Coast lead. Come to the short side. Sattler, Nickel, a big man, hard to stop. They do it.
Good tackle from Nigel Bunganar. He really needed to make that one.
Final tackle. Goddard will kick for himself. Reach had 1 look at it, and on the second look he came up with it, but failed to get out of the opening goal, so that's a good result for the Gold Coast.
It was a nice little kick there from Goddard, wasn't it? Put it into Reg. He couldn't handle it on the first attempt. Just watch it, just drops it on the toe, chases through. It is a tough one. It was going past Reggie, just stuck his hand out to stop it. He did the right thing, nothing silly. Taking their time now to get the ball back for the restart, give their forwards a rest.
Well, Chris, their 3rd set of 6 in succession. They'd be looking to try and put some points on the board, or further points, I should say.
They would be, the Gold Coast, and you can judge a side's going by the kick and chase, and the Gold Coast, the last 3 sets have been perfect in their execution, and Auckland, on the other hand, have struggled to get in the other half.
Again, they continue the attack, this time through Shane Russell. 30 metres out from the try line. It's been a dream start by the Gold Coast. Up by 10-0, Sattler. Back on the inside, McAllister, Denny McAllister. Again, the Auckland Warriors are slow to get back their 10. Sattler could see that and pinched another 8 metres. can go either side. They go to the left. Patton, knocked back. Oh, good hands by the big man in Mackay. Back for Patton. Across the park now for Conley. He takes off. Scott Conley taking the ground. Final tackle. Where's Patton? Goddard again into the end goal. Nickel comes through. They'll get their 4th set of 6 in a row.
Well, the leg of Odin Ryan has saved him there. You see this little kick through. I thought it had gone past him, in fact, and that he was going to miss it. He just got the toe to it. Well done. Had he not got it, that was a try in the corner there for David Miles, who was coming through from the Chargers. He's on the wing at the moment.
Actually, so far, as you could probably tell, has been favouring the Gold Coast, 66%. What, when that does even up, the Auckland Warriors will be really hard to hold out, but so far, all points to the Gold Coast, literally.
Well, let's see what the scoreline is by the time that happens. This is the 4th time in a row the Gold Coast have had it. Can they get up close enough to the line to put more pressure on in the next few tackles?
Away they go. This man is Jason Hudson. He's filled those very big shoes that Marcus Bai has left on the Gold Coast. Tony Durham.
Showing some good variation around the rucks now through Durham, and we've seen Scott Sattler do a few good things with Wes Patton as well. Plenty of players darting out of dummy half too, but they're not just taking it straight up to the Auckland Warriors, and that's putting him in 2 minds, in fact, in defence. Sattler once again running from one side of the ruck to the other and getting about 15 metres.
There's Patton, final tackle. Will they kick? They kick again. And Ridge allows that one to go dead. What a good chase by Scotty Conley.
It was good, but I'll tell you what, that experience there from Ridge, that is what's going to get the Warriors back into this match if they can get up the other end of the park. He could have pushed it over and had another dropout, but just played it as long as he could. He shadowed it over the line and didn't touch it.
Well, all points to Auckland there. 4 successive sets of 6. And they kept the Gold Coast out. It's a good defensive effort. Stephen Kearney again. How much juice have they used up? Stacey Jones is nice and fresh.
Well, he's done a lot of work, I'll tell you, in defence. He's been scrambling everywhere, but he's always sharp, isn't he, when he's got the football in his hands?
And he's Susu. Back it goes for Namu. Now Matthew Ridge. Ridge around 1. Oh, loose ball from Nigel Vangana. Picked up by Lee Odenryan. And Wes Patton is there waiting for the intercept.
They've gone nowhere. Not to the halfway line yet. It is the last tackle. And the Warriors need a good chase here from that Namu kick.
He's back for Andrew King. Chargers have never beaten Auckland. Hudson involved. Crunched in that tackle.
Oh, well done, the back 3 there for the Gold Coast. There was a good tackle there from Nigel Vangana, but just stretched the ball across the park, got a few more extra metres, showed some confidence. Have a look at this hit, though. He's lifted him up and put him on his back. Obviously, the referee didn't think he lifted him above the horizontal.
Oh, David Miles jumped back to his feet. Ginger. Gone out again. Dummy half. His kicking game has been good in this game so far. Nahi. Final tackle again. Gold Coast. Back it goes for Patton. They run the ball. Richie Allen has turned it over. And they'll play the first knock on.
No advantage there for the Warriors. Where's Patton deciding that instead of kicking to put it through the hands, but the defence, well, you see Namu coming out of the line. Richie Allen had no choice really, or no chance to get a kick away. Just made a little error.
There's Namu again, scheming. I mentioned he's popped a couple of bad head knocks in the last 2 weeks. Loose play the ball. Sideru takes off from dummy half eventually. Ridge up in the line for Jones. Free all the handling errors. Kearney driven back by Richie Allen. Now Jones again. Oh! Big Joe Vangana has put it down.
They didn't need that, did they? Let's try just finally up into the Gold Coast half, and you see that Kearney offload at the back. Balls through the hands from Jones, and he's just having a look. He wasn't watching the footy when it came to him, planning to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, just stand there.
So they've been forced to make 76 tackles. 47 to the Gold Coast. Now, Scott Sattler standing out of the scrum.
It does that quite often. I think it's a good move there too as well. He tends to get good yards and bend the line a bit. Phil Economides just deciding to use one of his back rowers from the scrums.
He's a centre with the Roosters. And go further ahead. Vangana over the top. And Mackay. Pick out the smallest man in the Auckland team, and that's not easy with Stacey Jones.
Well, I tell you, that's the second time Mackay's done that. He's got between the centre and the winger and made some yards. Now they're going again down this side of the field. But if his winger can follow him up on that side, Jason Hudson, get outside of him, I wouldn't be surprised if he can slip a ball around the corner and give Hudson a free run to the line.
Well, final tackle. Patton will chase this kick through. Ridge has knocked it straight back. Sixth again. And what's happened there?
Well, Jamie Goddard has lost it on the first. Was 6 again. They did play the advantage. There was an advantage. He took off forward. Just watch Ridge. He gets up high. Had to reach over Wes Patton to get it, and he just lost it over his shoulder. But Goddard has lost it in that tackle of Shane Endicott.
And now they give away a penalty, so they compound that error. 24 minutes gone now. 10-0 the Gold Coast in front. And they need this breather, Chris Bombolas. I imagine there's some very big tide forwards out there for
SFL, stay
Auckland.
behind the kicker.
There certainly are, Terry, and they'll appreciate this kick as it goes into touch, 10 metres into the Gold Coast half. They want to control this ball and try and use it and come up with a good set of 6 here and settle things down, get some points on the board.
Geez, they didn't milk that last penalty, did they?
Not much.
Susu was the man. And he's sent off against Canterbury earlier in the season. There he goes again. 13 games and 1 try so far this season, Susu.
Haven't seen that much of him myself. He does look fairly awkward to tackle, though. No doubt that's why Frank Endicott has him out there on the bench.
Nigel Vangana.
And good defence there from Nickel. Not only did he make a good tackle, but he and the winger both moved up on the opposite side of the ruck to cut that off. Now, quite often it'll go one way and lazy players will stay back, but he didn't. Now they're the inside pass again.
Yeah, they had numbers on the right-hand side. They went back on the inside to Kearney. Eru picks it up for Namu. Kicks. Lee Odenrine charging through. He was offside. He was told to stay out of it, and he kept on going.
Well, he's quick, but he had to be quick to get there onside. Let's have a look at it ourselves. Referee not in too much doubt. You see Odenrine out here on the left. Well, I think he's behind him, in fact. And that's why he was not too happy with that call. But what often happens, the referee, once the ball's kicked, then he'll look across. In that split second, the player that he says is offside has actually overrun the kicker after it's been kicked. So I think play it safe and get a couple of metres behind him, and there's no doubt.
Looks the pitch judge on the left-hand side of the park. Darren. And that's Craig Teven on the park, and Nahi. Teven's a halfback, come 5'8", come hooker. A little bit of a spark.
Well, of course, State of Origin hooker a couple of years ago too. He plays very well in that position.
Richie Allen. Get on the outside of his man, but Shane Endicott cutting down around the boots. Back it goes for Patton. Final tackle. Wes got the kick away. Ridge, very good hands to pick that one up. And now Lee Odenrine. He can make a couple of blunders, but he does get involved in the game, Gary.
He does. He's in there having a go, isn't he? And that was a good run, good effort there from Ridge. Picked it up off of his toes and popped the little ball inside.
Stellati plays it back. Randy Mallam out the back for Eru. Jones. Tutupu is now on the park for Auckland. And standing in that tackle, some danger signs. Just starting to show a touch for the Gold Coast, and there's another one.
Well, you've got to get out of that play-the-ball area. Whether the Warriors player did that on purpose or not, Heath Cruikshank was stuck in there. He took off. Well, no, he didn't do it on purpose. In fact, he ran into 2 players and deserved a penalty there. They're not going to take the 2, though. They're not going to take the shot at goal. Penalties now, the Gold Coast 2, Auckland 3. And they've taken the chance of the try. They've kicked the ball out 20 metres from the line, and now the tap.
Well, they need the try. They trail by 10 points to 0. Vangana. That's Joe. About to play it back. Loose ball.
Hands in there.
And the Gold Coast
Get your hands out of it.
starting to put pressure on themselves. Chris Nahi, the guilty player there. This man, Brady Mallett. All very big. All can offload the ball close to the line. Jones, change of direction. Namu is very quick. Taken around there by Chris Nahi. Getting ready for a blindside raid, and that's the way they go. Kearney, he scored last week. He reaches out. He can't score as yet. Back it goes now. Big long passes. Namu, loose one to Jones. Jones, Bunganama shrugs off one. The ball back for Jones. Try saver by Tony Durham. What a big effort.
It was a great play there from the Warriors, but Tony Durham's come across in cover. He's seen that inside ball to Stacey Jones and managed to stop him from scoring. Just have a look at this little ball. That's a nice pass inside. Durham stopped him. He rolls over. It would have been a try, but he's lost it. He didn't get it down cleanly, and Sean Hampstead was right on the spot to make the ruling.
Sattler plays it back. He's been a real warhorse, hasn't he? Chris Bomless, Tony Durham for the Gold Coast. He's been around for a long time with the club.
He certainly has since the inception of the Gold Coast club, and that was a great example of staying alive, Terry. And of course, he could have easily trailed on the inside and not made it across, and he did so well and saved a try.
Scott Sattler with his new contract in his pocket. He's really taking it to them, isn't he? He's made some good yards this afternoon.
Certainly is. Reach has that one all alone. It can affect players, Gary, in different ways. Some go into their shells and just take the contract with the new club, but Scott Sattler has certainly dug deep today so far.
Well, I know Phil Economides is unlike another coach that he's kept the player in the team despite him signing with another club, and why cut your nose off despite your face. I really think that Scott Sattler's got something to offer to them, and he's allowing him to show his teammates that he still wants to play well for him this season.
Man, is Stellati, and he'll be called back. That ball went forward.
And while we're going to break here and talking about contract, of course, the Gold Coast has been the speculation of a lot of contract talk. And Andrew King, Damien Driscoll and Tom Riley are all supposedly on the hit list of other clubs.
Well, Andrew King has yet to commit himself to a contract, a full-back for the Gold Coast. The players are just waiting to see what happens with mergers and clubs, and there's a lot going on in the rugby league world, Gary.
Well, they say they've been told they've got a little bit of money to spend, so for the Gold Coast's sake, let's hope they can keep those players.
Nickel. Play the ball. There's that man, Andrew King. Promotes it for Allen. Scott Sattler. Out the back it goes. Back for Andrew King. Looking for that hole, and he's running some 10 metres now. They've got Auckland on the back foot. Teven. He'll take it to the line. He ducked under a little bit of a high one. He only hung the arm out there to dry.
It was high.
From Logan Swan.
It came up high, it did. It's only with a penalty. Yeah, I know. It came up off him, but it still hit him high. You've got to keep him down. Yeah, I know. It still hit him high. It's still a high tackle. Matthew was still high, right?
It's a good right foot step there that got Logan Swan, and that's why he eventually went high. I tell you what, he was through that hole.
Referee Sean Hampstead got it right though, Gary. Just a penalty.
Yeah, definitely.
And Teven, he's been around himself. He's been a crusher, a bronco, and for another shark. And his brother Rowan Teven was one of the originals from memory back at the Broncos.
Yeah, he was, and Craig Teven now here at the Gold Coast. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. That's not such a bad thing these days, of course, with interchange.
Graham Mackay, this man who won a premiership with Penrith in '91. Strikes it nicely. The flags are up. The Gold Coast, they stretch that lead now. 12 points to 0 at home. Chasing just their second victory at home this season. Quick kick-off has been stopped by referee Sean Hampstead on that occasion, disappointing many of the Auckland Warriors, and particularly Stacey Jones, who rushed up.
They'd planned, obviously, to try to kick it dead before the Gold Coast team got back there, but well, maybe out.
Deep kickoff. Don't forget, it's the Auckland Warriors with the breeze of this opening half, and you've yet to make any impression on the scoreboard whatsoever. Durham. Goddard is out there, along with Teven, so they're two acting halves in the park at the moment.
We're getting involved in a lot of these Gold Coast players, sensing that there's some big yards to be made, and they're making them.
Scotty Sattler picking up another 12 or so metres. Mackay. Oh, flicks a right ball to Hudson. Cover tackle by Purdy. He stayed in the field of play. Did a good job, Hudson. Sattler. This is Wes Patton. The sidestep and the kick. Across comes Namu. Lee Odenrine offloads. Namu back for Odenrine. He juggles it while they're throwing it around as if they're leading by 12.
Or as though the game's almost over. It's only 12-0, but and 6 minutes to go. I guess they want to get on the scoreboard before half-time, but they're not that desperate to. What they really need to do is make sure that the difference in the Gold Coast lead is no more than 12. They need to get up the other end of the field.
Malum.
L4, hands off now, hands off.
Shank came over the top. Kearney, who so often is the player who sparks the Auckland revival, along with Stacey Jones. Matthew Reach. Namu, little kick, splitting the fullback in Andrew King, and also David Miles, and it's too big. And they have not used this breeze well, Gary.
Well, not at all. There's not too many times. Probably in the first 3 or 4 minutes we saw the Coast trying to bring the ball out from near their line, but apart from that, Gold Coast, they scored 2 tries against the run of play, but they've looked fairly good with the football in their hands, and their kicking game has certainly looked a lot better than what we've seen from the Warriors.
Danny McAllister just put the head down and drove that right shoulder into G. Namu. Durham. Takes it forward. They're just 5 metres short of the halfway line. Teven, who's former skipper, I should say, in Mackay. Old habits die hard. Hudson back to Allen. This man is Nahi, who knows how to hit the line. And that's a good play the ball. Goddard, Richie Allen, right boot, and giving the Lee Odenrine plenty of work to do. He's one of the quickest men in rugby league. And at the moment, he's across the park. He was close to getting round. Hudson eventually made the tackle.
He just kept going sideways, and Gold Coast players just kept coming forward trying to pick him off, but he's a hard man to get hold of. He's gone from one side of the field to the other with about a 2-metre gain.
He played by the metre. Jones. Good offload. Gutenberg, who's yet another huge Auckland Warriors forward. Matiti. Goes for now. He's timed that one well. King races back. It bounces up beautifully for him, and he comes away from the sideline. And offloads for Wes Patton. They are playing pretty good footy at the moment, the Gold Coast, and they are gaining easy metres.
Yeah, good work from King to be prepared to offload and make sure there was no real danger when he did. And then Wes Patton, didn't he take off when he sees a gap? Got some great speed.
Chris, all this, and they're missing probably their best go-forward man in Clinton O'Brien.
They certainly are, and they're doing a great job of it. I'm a bit disappointed. If I was Auckland coach Frank Endicott, you'd be pulling your hair out because they haven't completed their sets with any vigour or with any degree of certainty, have they, in the last 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah, they started well with those offloads, didn't they? But, gee, it's just got a bit flat at the moment. They just really need someone to take the ball by the horns and get them going forward and try to get them up the other end of the park.
He flicked that one out for Durham. And when they last came across the Tasman, Auckland, they went away victorious. That was against the Melbourne Storm. Oh! He has had a rough few weeks as that man, Wes Patton.
Well, it wasn't a good pass, and he was trying it from Goddard. It was low. He wanted to catch and pass. There were some Warriors getting out at him pretty quick. And you can see he's disgusting himself there, throwing the ball against his own forehead. Penalty now.
You went over his leg and you dragged him back over. Dragged him
Nickel was the player in question.
It's a fine line, some of those penalties, but what they don't need now is the Warriors to score. The Coast need to... What they've been doing very well in defence is moving up and staying up. 3 penalties each now. It's staying up in the defensive line, both sides of the ruck for those offloads. That's where the Warriors are dangerous, offloading in the tackles.
And here they come. Odin Ryan again. Sattler just rode into the ground. Starting to play the ball. The Maori fans here at Carrara get behind their team. Lutiti is it who reached out, and Wes Patton comes away with it.
Well, do they need that on third tackle? I know they're desperate to score. If you can control the ball, it's fine and you get held up because you get a restart. But just have a look at him here. He really doesn't know where the line is, reaching over the back. He, in fact, placed it about half a metre before the line, before it rolled out of his hands, and just giving it back to the Coast. They should be able to wind the clock down virtually here.
Goddard. A good run from dummy half again by the skipper for the Gold Coast, Andrew King. Plays it back and they continue to make good meters out of their own territory until this. Stellati came through. They'll get 6 to go. Stellati played at it. Back for Goddard. And now Andrew King. Tries to get away from Latiti. Can't do so.
I tell you what, you'd be alarmed, Frank Endicott, at the number of players that are getting through the line for the Gold Coast. Just with a step or showing the football. Wes Patton's gone now.
And Wes, he pushes away from one. He outsprints another. He celebrates before the line, but he'll give the Gold Coast a 16-0 lead just before the half-time break, and they will take some catching from here.
Well, you'd almost pencil in the 2 points as well. It's under the post for Graham Mackay to make it 18-0, but Patton just goes across the field, shows the ball, but nothing's doing. How many defenders are out there? We see 4 or 5 there. A little ball back inside. He steps. The outside defender just a little bit lazy to stay with him, and when he takes off, he's gone. Too quick there for Matthew Ridge. The arms raised. He knows that he's got his side a very good lead going into this half-time break. He's not the biggest player. In fact, he's probably the smallest in the league, but geez, quick.
So you talk about small man on big man, Gary. Wes is about 76 kgs maybe. Maximum 70 kgs, and he pushed away a big 100 kg Auckland forward to score that try. Now Graham Mackay, he adds the extras. The Gold Coast, a commanding performance so far. 3 tries to 0. They lead by 18 points to 0. We'll take a short break. So they go to the dressing sheds. The Gold Coast Chargers. Mackay has done a good job. And I mentioned for the first time in a long time, Coach Phil Economides will be happy with the effort. Not so the Auckland Warriors coach in Frank Endicott. We'll take a short break from Carrara. No doubt the Auckland Warriors would have copped a tongue lashing at half-time from Coach Frank Endicott, also the New Zealand Test coach, and that man Matthew Ridge always has plenty to say. And in his return game, he doesn't want to be 18 points nil down at the half-time break and not give a yelp in the second half. And the Gold Coast Chargers, they are looking to now go on with the job. That would be the message from their room.
Well, we're going to find out in this half if the Auckland Warriors have dead set got any ticker, if they really want to be out there or they really want to go to the finals, or they're just happy to turn up, get their contract money and go home.
They're on 14 competition points, Auckland. They can certainly make that top 10. But they would have banked these 2 competition points on the plane trip over. Something funny happens on that plane, Gary. I'm not too sure what it is.
Well, something funny happens on the field when the other side gets a bit of a lead. Well, you've really got to dig in.
They came back last week. They came back the week before. And I think they came back the week before that in the second half with better performances. Will they do it again for the 4th week in a row? We're about to find out. The Gold Coast now looking to go on with the job. They lead by 18 points to 0. They scored 3 tries to 0 in that opening half. Mackay is on target with the boot. Namu makes that tackle around the legs of Conley. This man is McAllister. Don't forget the Gold Coast lost their experienced prop forward in Clinton O'Brien just before this game. Mackay. Speaking of experience, Goddard, the skipper. Nahi, who charges up over that halfway line, and again you can see the...
Yeah, he's having a go there, Nahi, isn't it? He's got a penalty too for that extra push from Sideru. He's a Kiwi himself, Nahi, and he's keen to show them that he can match it with them. It's a good run. He bent the line. A couple of players taken with him as he gained a few more metres. And he tries to jump to his feet here. Well, he may have milked that a bit himself too. He's got the penalty. Surprised we didn't see maybe a shot at goal there. It's 40 metres out, and there's a slight breeze behind the Gold Coast this half as well.
This man is McAllister. It's on the defensive line. Now Goddard will look to go to Patton. In fact, there'll be one more charge there. Driscoll. Back to King. King dangerously close to that line. They've got him just 2 metres out now. Goddard. The Patton. Mackay. He's so hard to stop close to the line. They can't get him to the ground. He stands his ground. He plays it back quickly. Heath Cruikshank, maybe a waste of a tackle. Final tackle. Back it goes for Patton, standing wide. The cutout ball. Richie Allen, the field goal attempt. And it is successful. They go 1 point further up. 19 points to 0. Was it a tactic? Was it a ploy? Or was it ad-lib footy?
I reckon they've been sent out there by the coach to do that. I'll give him a rap, Phil Economides, but Richie Allen well struck, straight through the posts. And why would you do it at 18-0? Well, at 19-0 it means that the Warriors have to score 4 tries, or 4 times at least, to get in the lead. So even more pressure on the Warriors here.
McAllister. Let's go sideline now for that halftime report, and we're about to find out about those tactics from the Gold Coast. Chris Bombolis.
Yes, Terry. Well, first of all, let's find out what Auckland coach Frank Endicott had to say. He wasn't happy with their sets of 6. He wants them to complete those in this second half. Otherwise, it's self-destruct. He wants the go forward to be picked up. He wants the commitment of his players to be lifted. And, of course, he wants to wear down the Gold Coast and score more than 18 points. Well, now he has to score more than 19 points as the Coast make another break down this sideline here, and Ridge diffuses the situation.
And driven over the sideline. It'll be interesting to see here whether he took that ball in the in goal.
Oh, no way. He was in the field of play. His last step before he caught it. He's not sure himself, and he wouldn't know, Matthew Ridge, because he was watching the football. Look at his eyes all the way. He was in the field of play, then he stepped into the in goal. Just have a look at it here. He's caught it, and then he stepped in. So good ruling from the referee. I'll tell you what, great play, Wes Patton. I would have liked to see Graham Mackay, with one man to beat, use his winger. I think they could have scored from there.
Stay with us, Chris Bombolis. We'll be crossing back very shortly for a report from the Gold Coast room. We'll just stay with this attacking raid by the Gold Coast. They've already scored 1 point in this man. Bruce Nahi charges up into the line and bumps off that shoulder of Steve Kearney. This man is Hudson. He picks up another 5 metres. Just 4 tackles left for the Gold Coast. Goddard back on the inside for Richie Allen. Stepping. He's dangerously quick, this man. Hudson's there at dummy half. He'll take them on himself. So Jason Hudson, 2 metres out. Goddard, set play. Goddard goes himself. Final tackle now.
They just hung off, didn't they? A little bit too long. Patton with the little kick through now.
Oh, they charge through. Scott Sattler, is it, has signed a contract, and he may celebrate with a try of his own. We'll go to the video referee.
Gee, they're really confident, aren't they, the Gold Coast players? Nicely placed that kick through. Just have another look at it, Scott Sattler. Patton just dribbles it through. A couple of Warriors players tried to stop it. You'll see him come on screen. Well, I think he has got it down. In fact, it's come off Odin Ryan's foot, and then Scott Sattler has forced it, and he's smiling immediately. Have a look at it from this angle. The big right hand's coming through. Oh, most definitely forced a try there. That's why he's so happy.
Well, the smile broke out before the big right paw came out.
Yeah, the video ref doesn't need to look at the ball. He just needs to look at Sattler's face.
He planted it down very firmly.
I don't think Odin Ryan did either. I think he looked like he was trying to pick it up. Might be the only thing the video ref's looking at. Oh, definitely a try. Odin Ryan has his hands either side of the football. He'll pencil that one in.
So Scotty Sattler, it's been a big week for him. I think you'll see the green light. You do. And the crowd, they cheer here. And Chris Bombolas, I think they've carried out the halftime instructions pretty well.
Coast leading by 23 points to nil. This will be the perfect start to the second half that Phil Economides would want, and they're taking the shot at goal. Graham Mackay to shoot for conversion. Joining me now is Tony Pease from the Gold Coast. That's not a bad start for the second half after you're leading 18-0 at the break.
Perfect start, mate. They're doing exactly what Phil wanted them to do, play smart football. They've controlled the ball well in the first half, and they've defended very well, and he wanted them to do the same thing. He wants them to win the second half, and that's exactly what they're doing at the moment, so hopefully they can keep it going.
Now you can tell me, I can put you on the spot, was the plan to take the early field goal and get 19 points ahead, so they'd have to score, what, 4 times to get back into the game?
To be truthful, mate, I didn't hear that in the dressing rooms, but I think Phil's very happy with it at the moment.
Here's Graham Mackay with the shot at conversion, 3 from 4. He's missed that one. That'll make it 3 from 5. So the Gold Coast, in fact, leading by 23 points to nil. So you're confident? There's about 30 minutes to go. I don't want to put the mocker on you. You've probably been in this situation before.
Yeah, mate, they've just got to play smart and finish them off.
All right, well, that's the word from the sideline. Play smart and finish them off.
They're pretty good tactics, aren't they? Play smart, finish them off, and the important thing, Gary, is that they've made exactly the start they wanted. They've already added 5 points.
Score more points and win the game. They are good tactics as well.
And the short kickoff has paid off for Auckland.
It really is what they need. They need to get the football in their hands and try to get some continued sets of 6, get on the scoreboard very soon, and they may be an outside chance, but be a brave man to back them from here.
And don't forget, Auckland have never lost a game to the Gold Coast Chargers. They've only met on 2 occasions. This is their 3rd meeting. Big Joe Vangana winds up 17 games and 1 try. He started the game on fire, did Joe? Here's Jones, set play now for Gutenbiel on the far side. Final tackle. Ridge is trying to get something going for the Auckland. Stacey Jones, crossfield kick. Being forced back in that breeze. Oh, Mackay positioned his big frame well. And what about the offload for Hudson? He bumps around from 1, bumps off 2. Can't get away from the 3rd one. Endicott eventually gets him.
It was a good effort from Mackay, wasn't it? I'm not sure they need that offload under pressure, but look, a good jump. Takes a couple of defenders on and just flops it out the back. I'm glad Jason Hudson was there to pick it up for them. Just shows, I guess, how well they're defending are, doesn't it, when they're so desperate, the Warriors, and they have to go to the air.
It's been one of those customary mistakes by the Gold Coast, turning over the ball. They've done a good job while in possession. Sattler. McAllister again, is it? It is on the far side. Goddard. He picks up the little halfback and Wes Patton. The kick over the back of the head of Matthew Ridge, stands up. Everything going right for the Gold Coast at the moment.
It is, isn't it? That was a well-placed kick, but yeah, you're right. It stood up in the in goal. We see quite often they'll just hit the ground and run dead. Let's see if the Gold Coast defence has still got that sting in it, or at least that desperation to it that stopped the Warriors from scoring so far. A little offload back for Jones. They're putting it through their hands.
The desperation of Conley making the chase for the Gold Coast. Steve Kearney. Mahi again being told to roll away. Vangana causing some damage. Comes out of one in the second one. And you could hear the warning there by the referee, Sean Hampstead. And they've continued to infringe. Scott Conley, the offender.
Well, that was a better run there, wasn't it? Vangana just taking them on and pushing a couple off. He got some good yards there and tried to jump to his feet, but it's what they need, the Warriors. They just need to go forward, really. Maybe some offloads, lots of support. Try to get some continuity with the football, because that's really what they've lacked. They have had very Not too much football at all there in front in the penalties, but that's the only place.
23-0. Kearney steps off the right boot, pushes off one, keeps going. Steve Kearney. The offload was a beauty. And eventually they'll take him to ground. Just 1 metre out. Matiti plays it back. Jones, nice ball for Ridge. Endicott off the right boot. Endicott, he opens the try scoring for Auckland after 50 minutes of play. They are on the scoreboard. Can they keep on going?
Well, didn't they need it too? Their two most experienced, or probably their best players, set that up. It was a great run to start with from Kearney. And then you see Mackay comes out of the line. Jones just flicks it around the corner. And they get the ball out to Endicott. They were in all sorts of trouble there, the Gold Coast. He steps off his right foot and scrambles over the line. Much better play there from the Warriors. They put some pressure on by going forward. The starter with Kearney. Ridge just offloads to Endicott. He catches and steps inside. And gee, they needed it.
Matthew Ridge, the best in the business, no doubt about that, with the boot. And bumps this one over. So Auckland now on 6. And it was Endicott's first try for the season, 23-6, the scoreline.
Ill discipline from the Gold Coast gave up possession, and we see the Warriors making the best of it. Steady hands, the step inside from Endicott. He beats a couple of defenders. The Gold Coast line was a bit straggly at that stage, and over for the 6 points.
Shane Endicott, not to be a genius to work out, he's the son of Coach Frank. He came off the bench last week into the starting 13 against the Gold Coast. So will this spark a revival as we've seen in previous weeks? And that is a huge charge by Susu. It's left a very wounded Warrior there in Heath Cruikshank. Starting to build up ahead of steam, the Auckland Warriors. Eru, Benamu. Jim Namu back on the inside. That ball was a beauty. Now they are under siege. Jones, Stacey Jones, the dummy to nobody, and then the pass to no one.
Well, he was throwing it to his winger. In fact, it was to Galileo who was out wide, but gee, they're putting it to them now, aren't they? Tell you what, just that's Heath Cruikshank being helped off. He's coming to make the tackle here, and well, I don't know what he's copped. Is it a head? No, he's actually hobbling off. Yeah, well, it was a knee right where it hurts, and he's not very well at all. Gold Coast have the football back from that mistake, but they were under siege. I'll tell you, the Warriors are taking it to them now.
Richie Allen, an important part of the game coming up right now for both teams. If they can settle it down the Gold Coast and get some good quality possession, they should go on with the job. Patton, inside ball for Durham. Tackled right on the halfway line. He picks up Scott Conley. 3 seasons up with the Newcastle Knights, now with the Gold Coast. Patton. Richie Allen. Fullback by trade, playing in the 5/8 position. From a Rooster. Slow play the ball. They need it quicker than that. Back it goes for Patton. Final tackle. They didn't play at that. Andrew King, he should out sprint Susu, and he showed some good spirit to dive on that. So it'll be a changeover. And Susu put on a very good chase.
As you called it, Terry, just have a look at this. They've gone out for the charge. Well, he didn't play at it. It's kicked right into his head, and they are lucky, the Coast, there that it wasn't a quicker player giving chase. King was the only player alert to it. Still the turnover. Second tackle now with Galileo, who's come onto the wing.
He was named at fullback, but Matthew Ridge passed a fitness test. Vangana! He bursts through, and he goes over. So they pick it up. Try number 2 in the space of 4 minutes. And the Auckland Warriors, they start that comeback again. 23-10.
It didn't take much. They were all lined out to the right, and so the Gold Coast players, well, a big hole behind the middle of the ruck there. One of them trying to scramble into position. That big step from Vangana. Just have a look at him here. Out from dummy half. The big fella never gets it out of there. He busts through 2 tackles. You just have a look here. Vangana, there he is, out of dummy half. Steps inside 1. Beats another tackle and scrambles over. He's desperate to get him back in the game, and he's doing a good job of it.
Australia there was Sideru out of dummy half. And they've converted that try. So it was Eru, the try scorer. Matthew Ridge made the conversion. And it's 23 points to 12, and now pressure time for the Gold Coast, Chris.
Yes, well, they've been going that ordinary lately, the Gold Coast. They'd get in a bit of a situation where they don't know how to win. And here's Sideru. The Gold Coast defence is at 6s and 7s, straight through the middle, keeps it alive, and over he goes for a great 4-pointer. And now we've only got, 11 points in it with 20-odd minutes to go.
Oh, maybe that field goal may really come back to help the Gold Coast out. 11-point ball game, 23 to 12. Oh, now that is Vangana.
Well, that is Vangana, yes. And I'll tell you what, he ran just like him. He's just run straight over the top of Jason Hudson and got about 30 metres for 40 metres on his own. And they're finally fired up, the Auckland Warriors.
Penalty to Auckland, and all this starts to go against the Gold Coast.
Yeah, just talk to him. Stephen Carney tried to milk it down there. I didn't let him do it, right? There was no milk in there.
So, good experience there by Jamie Goddard to try and slow down the play at the moment.
Well, he's saying that they're milking a penalty, but that was just too slow. They didn't get off him quick enough.
Well, they need to take some deep breaths now, the Gold Coast. Jones, Namu, all just taking in that tackle by Durham, but only just. So, Jones, he adds that spark. We go forward now through Stephen Kearney. He slips out of 1, he can't get around 2.
Well, they really have to slow the ball down. That's why they gave that penalty away, but the Warriors are jumping to their feet. They're brushing through tackles. Here's Ridge now. A bit of a high tackle on him, but he's come out of it.
And then Nicot. And again, we're going to see a sin bidding here very shortly. In fact, we might see it here. So we're going to warn Jamie Goddard again. We'll have a listen to the referee.
4 penalties now. You've had 2 in a row down here. You start talking to them, otherwise I'm going to do something about it, right? Start talking to them.
Sideru, and I guess they've been a touch lucky to get away without a sin bidding there. Susu winds up.
Hands off.
Eru, the last try scorer, through the hands, Kearney, who picked up a try last week against the Steelers.
But this is the problem area for the Coast. A lot of big players who can stand in tackles. And if you're not up and waiting for them, if you run back to defend too early, they just keep offloading. Makes it very hard.
Jones loses it. They come up with it. They survive the Gold Coast. It was desperate play.
Jones claiming there 2 players in the tackle and one of them stripped it out, but I don't think the intention was there. They were just there trying to stop Jones and had his arm as he went into the tackle. Let's see him. He throws the dummy. He gets in between Teven and Nahi. Nahi's got him by the arm and the ball comes out, but it would have been a tough call for the referee to penalise him for that.
Now Teven on the park, coming away. They're 10 short of the halfway line. Driscoll, offload for Goddard. Goddard sensing a chance back on the inside. He's offside by a mile, a country mile.
Don't give me that, don't give me that.
Tell you what, an inside pass, if that had stuck and gone to Richie Allen, he was gone. They've come up with the error.
Chris, you can just see a touch of panic creeping into this Gold Coast, both in attack and defence.
Well, Terry, you can understand it. They haven't won for that long that they're starting to panic a little bit. A bit of pressure being applied by the Warriors, and they are sensing that perhaps the 23-point lead that they gave away wasn't great enough, and that they can overcome the hurdle.
Yeah, well, not from memory. I think their last and only victory at home was in round 9 against Penrith.
Well, they need 2 converted tries and they're in front, the Warriors, and there's over 20 minutes remaining, plenty of time. They're well in this match. They don't need to panic. The Gold Coast are the team that really just need to control the footy.
Well, that's a body blow, and Durham will come away.
He's put a big effort in today, hasn't he? Tony Durham. A lot of work.
He has. Auckland Warriors may well think they're Kiwi, which won the Melbourne Cup back in 1983, I think. And he gave away a huge start on the home turn. He came from last and won. Auckland are doing, or trying to do the same again, and Bunganup missing with a shoulder charge over the top on Tevan. Goddard now. His name is Driscoll. He's also yet to commit himself to a deal with the Gold Coast. Goddard away from acting half. Scott Sattler. This will be opening try. Final tackle. Patton runs the ball. Now Mackay puts it on the toe. This could work out to be a good kick. In fact, it's a beauty. And the chase is a good one. What about the pass from Ridge? And they'll get out of their own in goal. And they get out of it in fashion and style.
Well, the situation calls for some desperation, and quality players can come up with those plays, can't they, under pressure. Ridge, he was gone. A lot of the Gold Coast players didn't bother chasing out wide. Have a look at this. This kick through from Mackay is perfectly placed. He's got three players in front of him and takes the odds to a good ball out wide to Galileo, who gets into the field of play.
Entertaining play, but a turnover on the far side of the paddock. Tevan is there. Scotty Sattler was up, bustling in defence. Have a closer look at it.
Well, it's just a pass that was... They cut out one player and it landed right at the feet of Galileo, who couldn't pick it up. Some poor execution there.
Of course, this is the difference when you give away 23-point head start, Gary. You can't afford to make too many mistakes yourself, can you?
No, they really can't. They can't afford to play the game up here because the Coast have showed they can score short-range tries. They're very good at it.
Here we go, Richie Allen. Sattler again out of the scrum. Andrew King, the fullback, up into the line. That's Hudson, number 2.
Hands off! Works both ways, hands off him.
Well, I've got to say here, that's a penalty, and the referee's been consistent with this, but 11 points in the lead. Do you take the odds? I think you take the odds to the shot at goal. 13, they've got to score 3 times. I think that's a bad decision.
Touch judge, Phils, touch judge.
I guess they're backing their own ability. Mackay hasn't been as close to the mark with the boot in recent weeks as he would like.
Well, if they score, they prove me wrong, but I reckon you take the odds, have a shot at goal, kick it dead kick it hard enough that it goes dead if you miss, and you get the ball back anyway.
Patton scheming. Standing wide is Sattler. Trying to get around his man. He can't do so. That's Galileo coming in. Number 1 for Auckland. To the open side. Meet Cruikshank. Taken to ground just 3 metres short of the line. Goddard. Patton is dangerous here. The short ball didn't pay off on that occasion. Conley. Patton again. This time for Richie Allen. Oh, he went to reach out, Gary, and his opposite number had hold of the ball.
Oh, what about that tackle from Ridge and Namu? He was over the line for all money. The crowd were on their feet. Just ended up short. Good ball there from Patton, takes it to the line. He was ready to reach out, and Namu's just tackled him right around the football.
Namu again, the cutout ball. They must run the ball and chance their own in their own territory. They still trail on the scoreboard by 23 points to 12. 17 minutes to go. Tevan involved there, along with McAllister. Eru. Ridge. Trying to use his experience. Stacey Jones. Galileo on the far side just ran out of space.
Well, late in the tackle game, you've got to try things, haven't you? Stacey Jones just taking it across the park, almost through himself. Scott Sattler stayed with him. He was so close. He looked like he'd almost stepped out before he got tackled. He should have come back inside his halfback there.
Keep yourself straight.
Chris Nahi, who waits to go back on the park. Patton. Back in first grade after a few weeks in the Queensland Cup and local competition. Mackay.
Well, that's that winger that keeps coming in on him. And Mackay, he's going to slip that around the corner. We saw him do it once in the first half, and you can't let Jason Hudson go with no one in front of him.
Teven. Just to the line, that pass was flat. To Scotty Connolly. To the open side, Richie Allen. There's Patton. Presses the accelerator for Mackay. And he's about to say how well they work together. And it's been called back. And he's probably made the right decision here. Ruling from the linesman.
Just have a look. He drifts across field, pops it to him. That's not forward. That pass is fine, and that should have been play on. Now, Matthew Ridge has given up there, so we can't say he definitely would have scored. Well, that ruling's wrong. I think it may have come from the touch judge.
Yeah, touch judge Brett Matthews, I believe, made that call, but I was about to say they worked that play so well, Patton and Mackay.
He holds it up, and then Mackay decides to hit into the hole tight, and I can see why they complain. They've really lost the run of play there, and they needed the football. And on a bad ruling, the Warriors have it again.
Alistair makes another tackle with that tackling machine. Durham. Mallon turns it back for Shane Endicott. The opening try for Auckland. Inamu searching across the park. The runners can't find him. Reach, high ball, midfield bomb, looking for a mistake. Andrew King, the ball went backwards and Teven was there.
Plenty of Gold Coast players there, in fact, to clean it up. They've had a lot of football so far this second half, haven't they? The Warriors, it was all the Gold Coast. I think 61% of the football to 39 at one stage. Must be fairly even now.
McAllister. Jamie Goddard is skipper. Picks up Chris Nahi. Gets up over that halfway line again. A touch dusty. Back it comes for Wes Patton. Allen. Oh, showed the ball on the inside.
It was a great dummy, wasn't it? He fooled me. Phil Graham Mackay. Scrappy pass now at a dummy half. He needs to get this on the foot, and he does.
Oh, good work by Wes Patton. High ball. Reach got great protection. What about the take by Richie Allen? The offload. Now Stellati can't get out of his own end goal. And what a great result. And it goes back to a touch of skill for Wes Patton. He got a kick away in very tough circumstances.
Well, he did. He had to beat a couple of players, put a beautiful kick in. Richie Allen definitely behind him. He gets the jump here with Ridge and takes it out of his hands, then gets a little ball away. Durham it is, in fact, has come through, towed it through, would have scored had Stellati not been there, and they've trapped him in the end goal.
He went for the short rugby union drop out, trying to get possession back, but couldn't do so.
They put themselves under some pressure now, haven't they, really?
They have. Durham. Inside 13 minutes now. Goddard. A try here will wrap it up for the Gold Coast. Mackay, the rampaging bull, back on the inside off a Patton pass. Goddard. Patton again. Richie Allen scheming. Oh, and losing the ball. And referee Hampstead will say that was ripped out in the tackle.
And he does say that. A bit of a scuffle in there. Gee, what are the odds to Wes Patton having a run soon? We've seen him throw the ball so many times this half. He probably took one scamper in the first half and scored a 30-metre try. I reckon he's due for another one. Let's have a look here. He just keeps showing it, popping those little balls up because there's lots of Auckland defence there, but when they least expect it, I think it'll happen. That definitely, the ball was ripped out there. And now Graham Mackay has seen the light and decided to take the shot at goal. And this will give him a handy 13-point buffer if he gets it over.
Oh, Graham Mackay is another player searching for a new deal. From a club, he's had 4 Origin matches for New South Wales, 1 Test match, won a premiership. Rumour mill has it, he's only been offered a 1-year deal by the Gold Coast Chargers. He wants to play another 2. He's a veteran, but enjoying his rugby league. And looking to convert this one and make it 25 points to 12. And It's waved away. That's a bad miss by Graham Mackay. And Gary, I think you've had a couple of questions answered there while they haven't taken a couple of shots at goal from longer range.
Well, they needed it, but they're going to get the football back, aren't they? I mean, I know they're going to get it back a lot further down the field, but they're going to have it in their hands now, and the clock is ticking away as well. So I think it's worth a try.
He winds up. Taken head on by Logan Swan. Ginger after that tackle. That is Driscoll. Giving back a touch. To the open side. Scott Conley. Hard worker for the Gold Coast. Sattler. Durham. Bounces off that shoulder of Kearney. To the open side. Patton. Picks up Richie Allen.
He's had a solid game, hasn't he? The two halves, in fact, have played very well, but Richie Allen, he's hit the ball well. Put some players through some holes.
Oh, speculator at the back. It wasn't a good one. And Nigel Vungana came up with it.
They didn't need that, that's for sure. Late in the tackle count. Chance at a field goal, it'll put the ball in the end goal, and we have that.
Namu crunched in that tackle. Galileo. He's got some bad passes out there on the left wing.
He has. The last one he tried to pick up off his toes, he made a mistake of, so he just trapped that one with his foot and picked it up.
There goes Stacey Jones. He scored a couple of long-range tries out of dummy half this season.
Well, he knows too. That's the way they've got to go. Just get the ball going forward. Get the Gold Coast forwards on the back pedal, and they'll get some more room to move out wide eventually.
Swan. In one hand, quick hands. Stellati comes back away from the right wing. Endicott. Kearney. Again up into the line. Endicott again. Shane Endicott back on the inside for Swan. Swan steamrolling his way to the corner and lays it back rugby union style. And Stellati goes over. We will go to the video referee again.
Let's find out what the referee is looking for. Perhaps the ball may have gone forward. That would be his only problem. This was all some great work from Endicott. You see, he passes the ball out of dummy half. Kearney steps back inside and lays a little ball on for him. Nothing doing out wide, but he dummies and gets through the tackle. Nahi holds on, but he passes a nice ball inside. It's Logan Swan looking for his winger inside. He's not there. Trying to get there. The ball has come back. Well, has he lost it forward or not? That's what the referee...
It's a tough one, Gary. Initially, it looks like it may have gone backwards before going forward. It went back.
Well, it went back. It looks okay.
And over he goes, Stellati. I think you may well see the green light here, but you do. Well, we're in for a good finish, aren't we? 23-16 now. The Cardiac kids from Auckland.
Plenty of time on the clock, isn't there? Just hitting the 9-minute mark. Matthew Ridge, well, he wants to rush this, but by the same token, if he doesn't get it and they're 7 points behind, it's that much harder for them. Pressure kick.
Well, he laps up the pressure. What about that? Forget the pressure. The flags are up. Auckland, they're back. 23 points to 18. We do have a great finish coming up. 8.5 minutes to go, Chris.
Oh, what a ball game. Let's take our hands off here to Kearney. He stands up in the tackle, pops a little ball up, and away goes Endicott. Back inside to Swan. Now, Swans wants Stellati to come on the inside. He didn't come in. He makes it tough for the second rower come lock, and Stellati picks up eventually, makes it difficult, gets over for a fair try, and the conversion makes it a 5-point ball game with 8 minutes to go.
No panic needed here, is there? They've got enough time, but they really need to get up the other end of the park. They've shown once they get a roll on the Warriors, they've got this Gold Coast defence in dribs and drabs. They decide to go early, or go wide early in the tackle count, but they're up quick. Out wide, the Gold Coast.
5-point ball game. Steve Kearney. Again, a blockbusting run.
That's what they don't need. Kearney there just swiveling in that tackle and getting through.
Error away for Jones again. They'll keep the ball alive and they do it well. Namu trying to get involved off the back of Ridge. Now, Endicott back for Ridge again. You'll see his experience come to the fore. Stellati, who scored the last try. This guy is lightning quick. They came at him quickly. Andrew King made the tackle.
They're playing rugby sevens by the looks of it, aren't they? Just popping it back, getting onside and looking for an opening.
Wes Patton came storming out of the line to put some pressure on. They would be wheeling this ball over. It eventually goes over.
They make a big difference. The bounce of the football, either way, can make such a difference in a game of football. Had that stayed in the field of play, there was a lot of work ahead for the Gold Coast there to get out.
You could feel the breath come from the grandstands there to blow that ball.
Well, David Miles as well, he was keen for it to go dead. Here's a bust.
Great bust by Driscoll. Straight up and over. And all of a sudden the pressure is now back on Auckland. Nahi. And a second good run. They've done a good job of getting out of their own territory. And again, Mackay will take them on. Block busting his way forward.
Great work from the coast. Big yardage.
Craig Tooven again. To the line he'll go. He looks for a runner, but he has to take on the line himself. Gold Coast, 7 line breaks to 5. Back for Wes Patton. He chips for himself. Taken in the end goal. Stellati can't get around his man. Up, ready to go again. And it'll be a goal line dropout.
Well, Matthew Ridge remonstrating with the referee whether he thought the player was in the end goal when he caught it. There's that nicely placed kick from Patton. The Stellati gets it well. He's left the field of play as well, but he grounds the ball there. That's why he wasn't allowed to play on. And good ruling. He's had some tough rulings today, but quite a solid performance from Hampstead.
We see the short one again. It is backfired. That'll be a penalty. Well, straight in front. And I think we've just seen the ball game.
I think we have. The lights have come on. And celebration. The Gold Coast, well, this should take a minute or two for Graham Mackay to pop it over. And you just can't afford those mistakes, can you?
It's a hard call, isn't it? There's 6 minutes to go, the short kick-off. I guess it paid off only some 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, from a normal kick-off it paid off, but here it is. It doesn't go the 10. In fact, only bounces a metre or so in the field of play and then goes over the sideline.
And Auckland, as mentioned, have had 7 victories so far in season 1998. 14 competition points. They were banking on this one to take them to 16. They had an easy run home with all respect to all sides that Auckland meet, but they just don't put away the easier the teams in the bottom half of the competition table, because that's exactly where they are now. Mackay glides that one over. 27 points to 18.
Well, if they were banking on this one, their loan application has just been rejected. It's going to be very tough to get 7 more points or more than 7 on the board with only 4 minutes on the clock.
5-18 the scoreline. I've jumped the gun. Short kick-off again through Ridge. Flick back. Picked up by that man, Galileo. Long ball. Namu. Shane Endicott. Steve Kearney trying to twist out of that one. Ridge picks up a handy 10 metres. Eru. Namu. Wes Patton's up out of the line trying to put pressure on Gutenberg.
Well, one thing he is doing by doing that is getting in their face and making them push passes, and they could come up with an error. If they do that, it's all over.
Kearney. Swan again. And then to pull down. Loose ball out the back. Durham is it who's come up with it.
A knock on there from the Chargers. The referee has seen it.
Come on, Case, hurry up.
You see Durham in the end picks it up, but
A final fling by Auckland. Namu. Across field. Picked up Ridge. Looking for a quick play the ball. Galileo takes off from dummy half. Driven back in that tackle by Jamie Goddard. Loses it. And Susu picks it up, but he was called back.
See you later, Auckland. It's all over. You just have a look at Galileo in the tackle here. The ball's come loose. There's an arm around his arm, but certainly not on the football. Oh, the handling errors 10 from Auckland. It says a bit about the result that we're going to see. Only 7 from the coast.
Oh, this will get the Gold Coast off the bottom of the competition table with their 4th victory of the season. Only their 2nd at home. Scotty Sattler.
Lock the football up. That should be the message to these players. You lock it up and complete this set of 6. You've got the game.
Patton. It's up Teven. And Mackay flicks it out the back. He's thrown a couple of unwanted passes in the last 15 minutes.
Why? Why do they need that to happen? I mean, they're just giving the Warriors with a... I know the game's virtually over, but there's... You give the other side the football, there's always a chance something amazing could happen. If you've got it in your hands, you can control the game.
Go down.
We've got just 60 seconds left on the clock. That'll be time for one set of 6. Oh, against the food. Patton's away. He has too much speed. Stacey Jones chases. Halfback on halfback. The Gold Coast, number 7, wins. And he wins well. Back in first grade and celebrating in style. You said he'd run eventually, Gary, and he did exactly that.
Well, he should thank his forwards as well. They're jumping all over him, but they won the ball against the head, and he's gone. Stellati, the winger, chases. He's fairly quick. So Stacey Jones, but look at this lightning fast halfback. Where's Patton? He's had a big one, hasn't he? He's had a lot of his Gold Coast teammates. Oh, they just let the ball really get raked back there by the Gold Coast players, and Patton just took off. 2 players were there waiting to cover defend, but they weren't going to catch him. Great effort. Great afternoon for the Gold Coast Chargers as well.
And to think 3 weeks ago he couldn't even make the Gold Coast Queensland Cup side. Where's Patton?
Exactly, Chris. He's been playing in the Queensland Cup team for competition, but he's back in first grade now. He's also up to the South Tweed and Logan City. 4 from 7, and he finishes with a beauty. Successful for Graham Mackay. What a way to finish the game. An entertaining game. A game the Gold Coast will take some great delight from. 31 points to 18, the final score. Well, they got out of the gates in quick fashion, the Gold Coast. They stuttered, they fumbled a couple of times, Gary, but eventually they did go on with the job.
Well, they are very happy, and they should be. They played extremely well. We've talked about the Warriors not playing good enough to win, particularly in that last 30 minutes of the first half, but